You're lying in bed, you're exhausted, but your mind will not switch off. You have tried everything. You've tried early nights, you've tried no screens, you've even tried telling yourself to relax, and still you can't go to sleep. But here's the truth, it's probably not your routine, it's what your body is still holding on to. Hi, I'm Cheryl and I'm the owner of Your Time to Shine Therapy. And I'm a therapist who works with people struggling with anxiety, overwhelm, and chronic sleep issues. If you've ever felt physically tired but mentally wired at night, you've had racing thoughts the moment that your head hits that pillow. You could be sat downstairs and you're absolutely shattered, you go to bed and you ping wide awake. Or have you woken up in the night with anxiety or a sense of dread? Then I'm here to tell you that you're not alone. In this video, I'm going to explain the hidden reasons you can't sleep, what's really happening in your nervous system, and how I help clients finally get the real, restful sleep that they deserve. By the end of this video, you'll understand why sleep feels so difficult and what actually works to change it. Most people think that sleep patterns are about habits, or they're taught that it's about the habits, like screen time, coffee before you go to bed, or a nighttime routine. And while these things really matter, they're often not the root cause of the problem. The deeper issue is this. Your nervous system is still activated when you go to bed. It hasn't had time to switch off or calm down. During the day, you might be pushing through that stress, suppressing your emotions, or staying busy to cope. But at night time, when everything slows down, your body finally has space to process what it's been, holding in, sort of what's going on inside here. And that is when thoughts start racing, your body feels restless or tense, and your anxiety becomes really, really loud. So you can see that it's not that you can't sleep, it's more about your body doesn't feel safe enough to switch off just yet. Think of your nervous system like a switch between two states. So it'll have alert mode, which is obviously your fight or flight, and then it has rest mode, which is your calm and recovery. For sleep to happen, your body needs to shift into that rest state. But if you've been in chronic stress, your body stays in alert mode because it's still thinking and it's still looking for danger. And it will carry on doing that even when you're absolutely exhausted and you're desperate for sleep. And that's why you might experience a really tired body, but an active mind. Your body can be dog tired, but your mind's just thinking about things like, do penguins have knees? Silly things really that you don't really need to be thinking about. You suddenly feel really alert at night time. And you'll wake up at, times between 2 and 4 a.m. with really racing thoughts. And I want you to know that your body isn't trying to keep you awake. It is trying to process unresolved stress and emotions. And the way that it can do that is by doing it at night time when everything else is quiet. But until you address these, emotions that you've been holding back, sleep continues to feel like a battle. And it's exhausting. A lot of people that I work with have already tried sleep routines, where you can get these apps and things like that, meditation apps to try and calm the body down. And they also try herbal teas, listening to whale music, limiting screen time, that's another one that people have tried. And while these can help, and they can be very good, I'm not, dismissing them at all, they often don't solve the problem because they focus on the sleep itself, not the underlying stress that's already in the body. So they try and help you with a sleep pattern, or trying to get into sleep. So what tends to happen is you end up lying awake in bed and you start thinking. And the thoughts that will probably come up for you will be things like, why can't I just switch off? What is wrong with me? What this then does is it creates more pressure and it creates more anxiety and it keeps the cycle going. So you're back in that loop of not being able to sleep, so you're really tired, which is making you anxious, which is giving you bad thoughts, and then it goes round and round and round. Now, the issue isn't discipline. It's that your nervous system hasn't been given a way to fully unwind, and that is what you need to do. You need to really decompress so that your sleep comes along naturally and you get a better night's sleep. In therapy sessions, we take a really different approach. So instead of forcing sleep, we focus on helping the body feel safe enough to rest. Because if it does feel safe, then it'll gladly want to go to sleep and to get the rest that it needs. And it includes things like understanding what your body is holding on to. What stress, what emotions, what overthinking patterns. We also look at reducing nervous system activation before bed, not just at bedtime, but throughout the day. We also look at things like gently processing thoughts and emotions so they don't build up at night time. You can look at them throughout the day that are built better for you than a more building up. And using simple regulation techniques like slow, natural breathing without forcing it. Breathing can be a massive one to help you to settle down so you can get to sleep. Gentle movements, like stretching and doing a bit of yoga. And things like grounding your senses to signal safety. What then starts to happen is this, okay? Your body begins to start to relax naturally. Your mind becomes quieter without forcing it, because if you force it, it just won't happen. And sleep happens more easily and more consistently. So you start to get better night's sleep day after day. Clients will often come back and say to me things like, I didn't realise how much my body was holding on to till I finally let it go. And that becomes quite a revelation for people because they don't realise that they're holding on to this much emotion. If this resonates, then ask yourself this tonight. What might my body be holding on to that I haven't had time to process? And another thing that you can do is you can write it down on a piece of paper and leave it at the side of your bed. That can make a massive difference too. That question alone can start to shift how you approach your sleep at night. If you want help going deeper and actually resolving the root cause of your sleep issues, I work with clients one-to-one to calm the nervous system, to reduce overthinking and nighttime anxiety, and to process underlying stress and emotions. We also look at restoring natural, restful sleep. Subscribe for more videos about anxiety, sleep, and strategies that actually work. And in the comments, let me know what happens for you at night when you can't sleep. Thank you for watching. I shall see you all again soon. Bye for now.